A reason people give up is noticing that not every single day feels as good as that first day. Not every day is going to feel as good. You're gonna have days where you feel like you're taking an L. You might have weeks where you feel like you're taking an L.
I completely agree. The beginning, you're super motivated,
Yeah.
you're inspired,
Exactly.
but then you're gonna burn yourself out because that's gonna be the point that you have to get to. You're gonna have to work so hard that you burn yourself out. You're gonna have to get to the point where you're like, you know what? I don't even think this is healthy for me. And when it's at the point where you think it's not healthy for you, that's the point when you have to keep going and keep growing.
You would be not a little. You would be not a little.
Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to Focus. Another episode number 17. My name is Louis.
My name is Jacob Rodriguez.
And this is Focus, guys. Focus. We need focus to do anything in life, right? Without focus, you can't do anything. It's common sense. We are both entrepreneurs. I have a videography business, and I also grew a fitness page all the way up to 100,000 followers.
Yeah, and I actually run 8 Mexican restaurants in the state of Connecticut that do a little bit over 8 figures a year.
Damn. Who are you, brother?
Him.
Bro, you know what? I love doing this. And whoever's watching right now, not a lot of people watch these videos, but we're doing this because we love to do this, right? And we know eventually we're going to get to it. And the reason...
Humble beginnings, right?
Yeah, bro. We're going to look back to this and we're going to be like, damn, we never gave up. And it's actually what we want to talk about today. And it's never giving up. Because every step that you take along throughout your journey is a seed that you're planting. You might not see anything happening now or in that current moment, but eventually you're going to see that all those little steps that you took, actually, you built something. All that counts.
I mean, life gives you so many excuses for you to quit. And what separates the 1% from the 99% is that they don't quit. And so, dude, there's so many excuses from even waking up in the morning. It's cold out. Right now, it's like, 16 degrees over here in Connecticut. It's freezing.
It sucks.
But even getting up in the morning to go to the gym at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., not hitting the snooze button. There's so many excuses for you to be comfortable and, stay in bed, sleep, not go to work out, not go to work. But are you actually going to do it what you said you were going to do? Do you have that self-respect for you that you're like, you know what? I said I was going to go to the gym at 6 a.m. I'm going to go to the gym at 6 a.m. I said I was going to go work at 6 a.m. I want to work 6 a.m. And if you want to be an entrepreneur, you have to be the most disciplined out of anybody else.
Of course, absolutely. You really have to be really tough mentally as well, because this, as an entrepreneur, especially like with the podcast, I want to put the podcast for example, because this is episode number 17. We've been doing it for
18 weeks. Now. Yeah, 4 months.
We've been doing it for a minute now. And, we don't see it as the growth that we want. And we're not over here complaining, and we're not crying about it. Most importantly, we're not stopping because of that, because we know eventually we're gonna master all these little things. It's a mental thing, because right now it's easy to be like, get into your head and be like, oh, no one's watching us. You get down, and slowly you could drift away, or you could tell yourself, think long term. Listen, eventually I know this is gonna work. We just got to keep going through. We got to keep pushing, and we're gonna get there. Because 99% of the people quit at this stage.
Oh my God, everybody, bro.
This is the stage, bro. This is the stage where someone's like,
the growing pains.
Bro, there's no movement. Why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Why am I? And then they quit. This is why everybody quits.
We don't even bother. Luis and I don't even bother looking at the likes, looking at the views anymore, because we're like, this is not gonna happen overnight. I've seen people that do podcasts for years and years, and it's like the 4th year, and it actually starts blowing up. And hopefully it doesn't take us that long, but it's those people that actually really succeed. And so I was actually listening to a study they did in the 90s, and it said they put a bunch of kids in a room, and a bunch of little kids, like 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, and they gave the kids two options. They said, I'm gonna leave you in this room by yourself, and I'm gonna leave a cookie right here in front of the room. I'll give you you have 2 choices. You could either eat it, or I'll be back in 20 minutes and you could have 2 cookies. And so a lot of kids, they ate it. And then the adult came back into the room and like, you know what? You're not going to get another cookie because you ate it.
Yeah.
Then there was the other kids that waited, and they received 2 cookies. And they were super excited because they got 2 cookies instead of 1. Mm-hmm. they tracked them throughout their life, and they realized that the people that ate the cookie right away were the ones that didn't have a high-paying job, didn't finish college, didn't finish high school, and didn't end up doing anything with their life. While the people that waited for the second cookie were people that were had the higher prize, had the better job, had better savings, bought a house, and had an overall better lifestyle. And it's because things come at the right time. You can't go for low, quick satisfaction compared to long satisfaction. That's just not how this world works. And you can't be like, okay, I have a job, I just got my first paycheck, I'm gonna go spend it all. No, you have to save up your money, you have to invest into what you need to invest, and you have to work smart.
So that's like a big example on delaying gratification.
Delayed gratification, exactly.
Delaying gratification is, you're going to have to delay a lot of gratification, and there's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to tempt you, and only those who are willing to set those things aside and delay that for you, because none of this stuff is going away. What are some examples?
Of what? Delayed gratification?
Some quick gratifications that some instant
making money, going to a club, going to a party, all these little things that people normalize in this society. This society normalizes you going out to a club every single weekend, going out to a party every single weekend, spending your money on stupid shit, buying a sports car when you can't afford a sports car. That's so normalized.
Yeah.
Like, do it. But the people who make the most money, the people who are most successful in life are the people, you're like, you know what? I don't need it at this moment. I'm not going to follow the sheep, and I'm going to go do my own thing. And those are the people that really have that crazy lifestyles. Those are the people that become millionaires or billionaires and really have a name for themselves.
And every single thing that you just mentioned is nothing that's going to go away. It's not an opportunity that's going to pop up and boom. This is always going to be around. Popping bottles in the club is never going to go away. It's not. The same experience you're going to have now, you're probably going to have it later.
You're going to be popping NFTs in a couple of years.
You're going to have it, bro. You're going to be popping bottles even better because you'll have more money to spend, right? When
100%.
you delay it. But
100%.
delaying gratification is huge. You got to delay a lot of gratification, especially, I don't know how you feel about this one, the girls.
Yeah.
We talked about it like in the beginning of the beginning episodes, but the girls is...
I think people become so comfortable with specific girls. You're like, you know what? And they might have the crush on like this super, super beautiful girl, but you're like, you know what? I'm comfortable with the girl I'm with, and I'm not going to go for the girl I really wanted. And so I think even then, are you strong enough? Have you built yourself enough character, enough discipline in your life to really need a girl or have a girl? Do you need that type of affection or attention from a girl that you don't have to your own self? I always tell my friends, I tell them, don't go into a relationship when you don't love yourself first.
No, absolutely.
I think that's just really a good saying, because self-love is always first.
Mm-hmm.
That at the end of the day, you're only gonna have yourself. You're not gonna have anybody else. And you know what? You might be with your girlfriend, but then a jacked 6'4" NFL player pulls up with more money than you, and that's not your girl no more, bro.
See you, brother.
It's not your girl. It's just your turn.
It's ours.
And so it's not a girl. Yeah, exactly. No, and so I think, I think you really have to build some self-love and discipline, and working hard and going through the rough times is what builds self-love in yourself, and really self-love for your company as well. I have so much love for my company because I went through the hard times. I went through those times where I couldn't afford rent. I went through those times where I couldn't afford food. I went through those times where I wouldn't pay myself for so much time. And that's why you build such a connection with the business, because you put your tears, your blood, your sweat into the business. That's what makes it flourish. Amazon was started in a garage. Facebook was started in a garage.
Majority of those companies, yeah.
They didn't pay anyone. They gave people equity as payment for the first couple of years. But boom, now they're billion-dollar companies, trillion-dollar companies that took over the whole world. And so they started from humble beginnings, hard times, and that's what really made them the company they are today.
And I want to quickly go back to the girl topic. Not that I want to be in this topic for too long, but there's a saying that I remembered saying that the perfect girl, your dream girl right now, if you had her, could probably your end. It could be your end, because some people are working really hard for that, to have that. Some guys, that's their motivation. Oh, I want to have my dream girl. I want to go to this house and live with her and have babies. But what if you had that girl right now? What about all the things that you were working for to get that dream girl? You're not going to do any of that because you already have
Because
it.
you're comfortable, yeah.
You already have it. So your dream girl right now could probably be the end of you. So my advice would be focus on yourself. Focus on the self-love. Focus on your business. Focus on growing. And then once you grow, it's going to be really easy to maintain a relationship. I mean, no relationship is easy, but it's going to be a lot more. It's going to feel a lot easier.
But not
less
only
stress.
that, Luis, I also believe I have something to add into there. Your partner, your dream girl, should be someone that's growing with you.
Yeah,
So it shouldn't
yeah.
be somebody. That's what I think you've said right now is like, oh, that person could be the limit to your goals. While your real partner, someone who truly loves you, is someone who
yeah.
will extend your goals.
No, yeah.
Be like, you know what? My goal is to do $1 million in sale. Your girl's like, you're going to do 5. You're going to do 10.
Yeah.
That's your true partner.
If you find someone like that, you got to keep her, brother.
You got to keep her. And the thing is about like your partner, I believe, should be your best friend.
No,
and
yeah,
someone help you
absolutely.
grow. And I think it's super important for as a male in this society where lust is such a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
Is that, you know, you really focus on your goals. You really focus on what you want in life. And at the end of the day, you reach for what makes you happy. And, you know, I think happiness comes with money. I think money makes you happy. In
It's
a
part of it.
way.
It's a very big part of it.
And you know why I say that? The reason I say that is because at the end of the day, you get financial freedom. And I think happiness comes from the things you like to do, the things that you love to do, the things you've always wanted to do.
Of course.
And at the end of the day, you can't do that without money. So I think the people who live the happiest lives are the people that have that liberty to do whatever they want
course,
in their life
yeah.
and chase their goals and, you know, ask the girl that they've been wanting to ask out and, you know, take risk. I think those are the people that really have the best lives.
Yeah. And I mean, if you got financial freedom, then you'll be able to hang out with your family more. You'll be able to hang out with your girl more. Everything's a lot. I know a lot of people say money isn't the key of like the happiness, but it opens the doors for a lot of happiness.
Exactly. At the end of the day, that's really what you want. And I think one thing I really learned in life as well, being in my leadership position, is kind of connecting with everybody. I think one of my biggest things for me is like earlier today, I had a business meeting with a $1 billion company, and they're a paper distributor. I don't know if they're $1 billion. I have to double check on that, but they do hundreds of millions of dollars. They're nationwide. And I had a business meeting with them because they wanted my business and stuff like that. And so it's just kind of like the connections that you make. And I got a really good vibe from them. So it's like if you really make connections and you build those relationships, I'm going to end up working with someone that I like and that I get along
absolutely.
with and that I trust, compared to the other side, which is like people that are very dry, people that don't really have that much energy, people that really don't care about your business. I want someone to care about my business just as much as I care about my business.
Absolutely.
And as long as, you know, their rep is giving me that type of energy, I'm going to go work with them. And I always say people work with people they like, people dine in with people they like. And it's not just about the food. It's not about the drinks. I see a bunch of places. There's this place right next door called the Granola Bar. They're woman-owned. And, you know, people go and support because they're woman-owned, because they like the owners. They like the image of the owners. And so I think that's super important as well, because here in the restaurant, I have people that come in here because they know me, they know my family, they know about the restaurants, they know about the beginnings. And so that's why they come and support. And at the end of the day, obviously the food has something to do with it, but they come because they want to give that support out.
Yeah, it's that relationship that you build with the people. That's what
Yeah.
I was saying earlier. There's other people who do have videography business, of course. And I was telling you earlier that they do their quality in their work is just like it's kind of like questionable, but they make a lot of money, and it's because they have really good relationship with those people. And if you have really good relationships with the people that you do business with, then they're always gonna come back to you. You're more reliable.
100%. I think the relationships at the end of the day is what's going to build you. And I think what we were talking about in this podcast is never giving up, is never give up on those relationships. I think the funny thing about this company that I'm talking to you about is the rep reached out to me probably for the last year and a half, sending emails. Until finally I was like, you know what? I'm going to give them a chance. I'm going to meet
What
with
made
them.
you want to?
Just because, you know, with the company I currently work with, I'm not too happy with them. And so, you know, that kind of opened up the opportunity for me to look
Okay.
up and go shopping and to see what I really wanted.
Gotcha.
And so, you know, I got to meet this guy, and he was a great guy. And so that kind of ended up making the decision for us to go work with them. And I think that's super important of you not giving up, you being so consistent. You know what? I didn't get any results, but I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. Because that's how life works. I think specifically in the restaurant industry, I think it's 10% of restaurants survive after 5 years. And, I think it's super important to take away, why did this company last more than 5 years? What did they do different? Oh, they were consistent. They worked hard. They're very loved in the community. They did something for the community. And so I think that consistency and that working hard is what makes, a company prosperous.
Yeah.
And I think as a company, that's our goal. Our goal is to, be loved by the community. People, connecting with the community, doing things with the community. I do fundraisers for the police department, for the fire department. I do for the hospital, children's care. I do try to do as many things that I can do to support the community. And at the end of the day, that's also supporting me.
No, yeah.
Because I'm trying to help out the community. And I think your hard work kind of pays off in that.
You're planting seeds. That's like what we were talking about earlier. Those are seeds that are eventually going to grow, and then they're going to come back, and boom.
Yeah. And so what was the other thing? You're working hard and...
Yeah, I wanted to talk about never giving up and the excuses.
Oh, excuses, yeah.
Because it's so easy to give up, and it's also easy to give excuses. And that's just a pair that's going to destroy you. And depending on what situation you are in life, excuses really does not benefit you at all. It just makes you feel good about not doing the thing that you were supposed to do.
You said depending. Excuses never are the right thing. Of course. Depending. There's never an excuse.
No, you're right.
To give out an excuse.
And I said depending on if you're working for somebody.
Yeah.
Like me with you.
Yeah.
How would I look giving you excuses?
Yeah.
Like something, but if you're doing it by yourself, it's going to be a lot different.
100%. And so you have to be the most straightforward person with yourself.
Yeah.
And your own company. Look, I believe I do a good job, but I believe I also don't do a great job. And so my goal is to do a great job. Mm-hmm. And then from a great job, I want to do an excellent job. So
I like that.
So right now, I'd probably give myself a rating of like 6.5 in my business, 6.5, 7. But to other people, my business already looks like a 10. But then I compare myself to other businesses, and my business looks like a 1. Mm-hmm. And so the thing is always being so straightforward and not making those excuses to be able to grow and be prosperous, and being a profitable company, making sure the culture is correct in the company as well, because it's not all just about money. It's also about how are people working in your company? Are they happy where they are? And so we did like this training with a mentality coach, lifestyle coach, not too long ago, this last week. And so people wrote down, what they're thankful for. And a lot of people put down they were thankful for their bosses, and they're thankful for the job and their job. And I'm like, wow, that's such a humble and great experience.
Awesome.
Great experience to hear that, because not everybody likes where they work, and not people aren't happy where they work. And for people, from my own staff to tell me, that we're happy about where we work, we're happy with the situation, we're happy for having a good boss, that is just something great to hear. Put a huge smile on my face. I almost got
Started blushing and stuff.
Yeah, I started blushing. I almost got tearful, but I almost started crying because, dude, it's super important. I do my best, and my staff kind of supports that.
Yeah.
And so that's huge for me, because it's not just me by myself; it's also my staff pushing forward and trying to get better every single day.
It definitely makes the work area a lot more easier to deal with if your bosses. If you really get along with your bosses and everyone's having a good relationship, it definitely makes the work go by a lot faster. Because I've worked at places where the bosses, they treat their employees like complete shit.
And they don't even show up sometimes, the bosses.
Yeah.
And so it's like, what's a better feeling? The boss is grinding there with you, or is it the boss is, telling you what to do from a mansion in Malibu?
They're just saying, now do this, do that. It's like,
and so obviously the whole goal of you building a business is not for you to work in the business for forever and obviously be inside the business. Because at the end of the day, that's not even running a business. That's just you being an employee of your own business. The whole goal is for you to be the boss of a business and have that liberty and freedom to build the brand, to build the business, instead of working inside the business. And so those are two different things, but at the end of the day, you're going to have to go through working inside the business as an employee pretty much, and then eventually be able to have people in charge so that you could grow the business and focus on growing it, And so delegation goes into that, teamwork goes into that. And I think, that comes with working hard. That comes with working hard, not making excuses. I'm probably, obviously my mind is every single day gives me a reason to make an excuse, but I force myself to go through it, and like this morning was like 16 degrees, 10 degrees. And I'm like, fuck, I don't want to get up. But then my mind's like, you know what? The other 99% people are also saying the same thing, and I'm going to get up. And so I got up. And I didn't make an excuse, and I went to the gym. I worked out. I eat healthy. And so, at the end of the day, I go happy. I go to bed happy. I go to bed satisfied because I'm one step closer to my goal and my dreams.
Because I want to go back a little bit to the topic about not giving up. A reason people give up is noticing that not every single day feels as good as that first day. Not every day is going to feel as good. You're going to have days where you feel like you're taking an L. You might have weeks where you feel like you're taking an L. And this is why it's important to enjoy every single day, every single L, every single W, everything throughout the journey, because it's a roller coaster. It's a roller coaster, and then eventually you're gonna peak, and it's just gonna keep going and going and going and going, and it's gonna feel like that again. It's part of everybody's journey at every single level in life. It's about keep. It's easy to give up when you don't see any progress.
I completely agree. I think you said the beginning, and I completely agree. The beginning, you're super motivated, you're inspired.
Exactly.
But then, you're going to burn yourself out, because that's going to be the point that you have to get to. You're going to have to work so hard that you burn yourself out. You're going to have to get to the point where you're like, you know what? I don't even think this is healthy for me. And when it's at the point where you think it's not healthy for you, that's the point when you have to keep going and keep growing. And like we said in other prior podcasts and this podcast as well, is, you have to grow in the uncomfortable to make it the comfortable. And I think that's something huge. I think Luis and I have gone through a lot of ups and downs, but, we're working on social media. Lately, the social media has been super consistent. You just posted a video the other day, and it already had like 16,000 views now and 1,000 likes. And then he posted a video a couple weeks ago, and already has 2.5 million views. And so at the beginning, it wasn't, easy to start from that, because I grew the page from 2,500 followers up to 28,000. So it was a hard beginning, but eventually we, as a team, we grew up and we organized the company way more, and made a pretty successful page that brings me business in every single weekend, every single day. And so I think if I would have given up like the rest of the restaurants in the area, I would have not done half the business I do right now, especially in such a hard economy where everything's so expensive and it's so harder. It's much harder to retain guests. Social media has been super impactful for me to make that money and bring in regular guests into the company.
Bro, and that goes back to the last topic that we were talking about, the relationships.
Yeah.
Having a great relationship with people is key. It's very big for businesses. In social media, you could do that. You could do that through social media, and you could do that with millions of people. If millions of people enjoy and are watching your content, they're going to be excited to go to your place. They're going to be excited. Oh, Puerto Vallarta, I just seen a funny video from that. I need to go over there. And then they go to the restaurant, they see the people, they start talking. Boom. You just created a big long-term customer right there.
Yeah.
From one single video.
It's funny because like I was telling you last podcast, it's like I had my lawyer and I had my accountant tell me, oh, I saw you guys on social media, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, these guys are 70 years old. They saw me on Instagram. They saw me on TikTok or whatever. And so it's hilarious. And so the funny thing is like, when you're growing and you're trying to build that image and everything like that, people see, but they don't really support you in a way.
No.
People watch everything you do, but they don't support you. For example, like we were at an event and people were like, oh, I love what you guys are doing, blah, blah, blah. But, I post and they don't even like the video. They don't comment on the video. They don't share the video. Yet they're up here saying they support me. And so the thing is, it's funny because they're not going to start supporting you until, you're up top, and they'll be like, oh, I know this guy since before he started doing everything. But the true supporters are the ones support you from the bottom all the way up. But the thing is like, it's just funny to see that. And so that comes in with working hard, because people can, like, if you're not successful, that's the perfect excuse for people to make fun of you.
Exactly.
And so at the end of the day, you want to prove people wrong. And so working hard and not making excuses will make sure you prove people wrong. because you'll make sure that your business succeeds. Might not be today, might not be tomorrow, might not be in a week, might not be in a year, but maybe 10 years it'll succeed. It'll be a boom. And you have to think about it. These Fortune 500 companies didn't start yesterday. They started years and years and years, and they came from many relationships, surrounding themselves with smarter people than them in certain areas. And that's what really made them a Fortune 500 company to be able to go public in the market.
And they go through all these days. They go through the days where you feel like nothing's happening, and they want to give up, and they've gone through that. They know what the journey's about.
Yeah, and I think our generation, Gen Z, we have a big mix of everything. I think we have a lot of people that are super motivated that don't know where to start. And I think we also have a lot of people that are temporarily motivated and then give up right away. And so I think the people that are generally motivated that can really force themselves to be consistent are the people who are going to succeed, and that's the 1%. And I believe that the rest of our generation is going to be the sheep of our society and really be the ones to complain about everything but not really do anything about it.
And ladies and gentlemen, this is the biggest reason why we're here. This is why we have the Focus podcast, and this is why we talk about motivational stuff and all this. Our generation has the biggest potential. And I say biggest potential is because a lot of people want to do a lot with their life. They have a lot of, it's not like before everybody just seen only one way to get, like, for example, a house. You got to go to school, you got to do this to get a house. Now everybody knows every single route that you could take in order to get here.
Yeah.
But it's like people don't want to do, like, they do it, but they don't do it long term. And so our final goal is to, create more entrepreneurs, a lot more people, teach them more about this game and get them more driven to do.
Yeah, we want to build you guys into entrepreneurs. We want you guys to be successful. Yeah. And, I get super happy seeing people grow and seeing people become successful because those humble beginnings, how it started, how everything happened. And so I think so many people are going to limit themselves, but I believe that maybe someday someone's going to look at our videos and be inspired from our videos and then eventually end up opening up their business and, having a successful business. And they'll be motivated because they saw us living that type of lifestyle every single day. And Luis sees me every single day, and Luis is like, dude, you never take a day off? And Luis knows I literally don't take a day off.
He doesn't.
I'm available on my phone 24/7. You can call me at 7 a.m. I'll pick up. Yeah. You can call me at midnight. I'll pick up. You can call me at any time, and I'll pick up. And I'm always available. And, that's something that people are like, oh, that's so unhealthy. I would never want to do that. But that's what kind of separates the sheep from the lions. That's really what you have to go through. And I think Dana White said that. Dana White said, in your first couple of years when you're growing your business, there's no Christmas, there's no birthday, there's no holidays. You don't celebrate anything. You're available to work every single day, and you're picking up your phone every single day, because if not, you're losing out on opportunities, you're losing out on money, and that could honestly put you extinct. That could make your company extinct.
Yeah, and that's what it takes to own a business, guys. If people think it's easy, it's not. It actually gets harder. But, eventually it will get easy.
With more power comes more responsibility.
Exactly, yeah, and more money as well. Yeah, and talking about earlier about calling you whenever. I called him the other day at 2 a.m. because I missed him. I'm like, yo, Jacob, I miss you.
Yeah.
And he woke up. He's like, oh, Louis, don't worry. Like, everything's going to be okay. Like, you'll see me tomorrow.
Yeah. Hey, that's how it kind of sounds, bro. A booty call.
That whole thing was, you was serious about it. Hold on.
Like, dude, hey, come on, bro. I'm not no booty call.
Damn. He's over there like, yeah, he did call me.
I'm like, yeah, booty call me.
No, that was a joke. That was a joke.
Bro.
That was a joke, bro. That was a joke. Dude, that click, when you told me about not everybody supports you in the bottom, bro, I've been going through that my whole life, and we're going through that right now, bro. Look at our podcast, bro. How many people are supporting us right now? I don't see any support, but we know. I don't care, bro.
And it's funny, the thing is, like, when I first published, like, the first episode we did, people were like, oh my gosh, your podcast, keep it up. And so that's like our most viewed podcast right now.
Our first podcast is our most viewed.
And so then after that, people kind of don't even talk about it.
Yeah.
And because I'm posting every single week, we're posting every single week. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, like, until I get another viral clip, that's when someone's gonna be like, oh, I saw you on my For You page. You're still doing that? Oh my God, congrats. You deserve everything. You deserve the fame. And so I think that's what kind of builds that out. And I think that consistency, that hard work is going to pay off eventually. And you guys have to stay strong. You guys have to stay focused and keep working hard.
Do it. And I lived through that with my fitness page.
Yeah.
When I first started, everyone's like, everyone was like texting me, Louis, yeah, this is awesome, nice. There was not a lot of fitness people on when I started. And then plateaued. Nobody, bro. Video after video, nobody texted me, nobody cared. And then when I started consistently blow up, everybody knew me. Everybody supported me. Hey, yo, I supported him since he started and this and that. I'm like, come on, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Do you want to cut it off?
Yeah, I think we're done.
I think we're good. I think we yapped enough over
Yeah.
here. Thank you guys for your support. Thank you guys for everything. And I think we want you guys to stay focused. I can let you do the outro.
Yeah, guys. Well, thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Please comment if you watched this far.
Yeah.
And you
Follow
know,
our socials, you guys, in the bio.
everything is linked in the description. But with that being said, guys, thank you for watching. Stay focused. You need to focus in order to get anywhere. And we will see you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.